Hello, third grade, and welcome to the last lesson in chapter 5. We're on lesson 6, titled, How Can You Help Build Strong Communities? In this lesson, you're going to use your investigative skills to explore how people strengthen their communities. Reading and talking about how people work together to take care of and improve their communities will help you understand how you can make a difference in your community. Here you can see we have a picture of kids that are picking up litter or garbage from the trash to help keep their communities clean. Litter and other trash not only make a place look bad, but also contribute to pollution and harm local plants and animal life. Pollution dirties the air, water, and the land around us. In their words, Dorothy Height, I like to say to young people today, you are the beneficiaries of what a lot of people worked and gave their lives for. And the important thing now is not to go it alone on your own, by yourself, but see how you will join with others, get organized, and how you will serve others, and how you will help to move this forward. And she was a civil rights and women's rights activist from 2008. As always, let's go ahead and take a look at the information in our blue bars. We're going to read the text and look at the photo, circle any words that we don't know, underline words and phrases that help you understand rights and responsibilities, and then summarize in a sentence what the text is about. So you can write that sentence in your My Notes section. Read for the reread section for number 2, it says, how does the author say we can build stronger communities? Underline clues that help support what you think. Building community. We are all part of a community. When someone asks where we live, we might say the name of our town or state. We might also say we live in the United States. All 3 answers are correct. A community can also be a neighborhood, a school, or even a classroom. A community is made up of different kinds of people, but the people in a community all share certain beliefs, rights, and responsibilities. Rights are things that people can claim. Responsibilities are things people are expected to do. Thinking about the different communities to which you belong. What kind of beliefs, rights, and responsibilities do you share with other people in those communities? American citizens have many rights, such as the freedom to share ideas. In exchange, they also have important responsibilities, such as obeying laws. In a strong community, people try to do what is best for everybody. They follow rules and laws to help keep people safe. They work together to solve problems to improve life for everyone. Many people also volunteer to help make their community a better place for all who live there. To volunteer means to do a job or provide a service without pay. What are some ways you can help make your community better? Here in the picture, we see volunteers helping to clean up their community's beach. Their work helps to keep trash out of the water as well as off the land. Let's take a look at our graphic organizers for today. We are going to look at our first one, and we're going to explore drawing conclusions. A conclusion is a decision that you make about a topic. You use what you already know and information from what you read or observed to draw a conclusion. We draw conclusions when we read. We also draw conclusions from information we see in maps, charts, graphs, and photos. Read the title of the section and the captions for the images. Read the text all the way through and look closely at the images. Think about what you read or saw, and then draw a conclusion, which means use the information as well as what you already know to decide or make a conclusion about the topic. For our first graphic organizer here at the bottom, it says, what makes a strong community? First, we're going to take a look at the text clues and what I already know. So here we can put in following rules and laws, solving problems, volunteering, getting along with neighbors, working together. These are all things that make a strong community. The conclusion you can draw from that is to say that a strong community has people who follow laws and they're willing to work together to solve problems, and they help each other. Now for the next section, we're going to read page 250 to 257 in our research companion, that's our textbook, and we're going to fill in our graphic organizer. So the text clues, you're going to write what you already know about becoming a good citizen, about characteristics of a good leader, about problems in a community, and ways to make a difference in your community. And the conclusion you're going to come up with at the end will be how to build a strong community. Let's go ahead and jump into our textbook and begin our reading. What makes a community strong? A community is a group of people who live in the same area, families that shop at the same stores and go to the same parks. The children in a community often go to the same schools. To make communities strong, people need to work together. Leaders serve the community. They listen to citizens or members of the community and work to improve life for everyone. The people in the community trust them to make good decisions. Citizens help their leaders by giving their opinions and volunteering their time. People in communities work with leaders to provide good schools for their children. They work together to build businesses and provide jobs for people. They also work with their leaders and with one another to take care of the environment. Community members respect one another and make sure everyone is treated fairly. Everyone in the community benefits from having a safe, kind, and fun place to live. To recycle means to make trash ready to use again. Recycling is good for a community's environment because it reduces waste. Learning how to become a good citizen starts at school. Your classroom is a community, and you are one of the citizens. As a citizen, you are expected to follow the rules. Before you speak, you must raise your hand. You form a line before going to recess. You are expected to listen when your teacher speaks. Your teacher may ask you to work with other classmates in a group. You get to share ideas and listen to your classmates' ideas when you work in a group. You learn to cooperate by working together. You also learn how to compromise when your group has different opinions. A compromise is an agreement that people make when they have different ideas. Each person or group gives up something they wanted to make an agreement. For example, imagine your group has 3 ideas for a project. Finding a compromise could include combining some of those ideas into one project. Your classroom also teaches you to care about our country. You show that you care when you say the Pledge of Allegiance, if that's something you say at your school. When you say the Pledge of Allegiance, you promise to support and defend the values of the United States. You may be too young to vote for issues in your community, but you can vote for class leaders. Before you vote, you should think about the qualities you want in a leader. Do you want a leader who listens to other people's ideas, or do you want a leader who makes all the decisions on their own? You can use that information to make informed decisions. So thinking back to our graphic organizer, our first section over here about becoming a good citizen, we learned that that begins in the classroom. So for becoming a good citizen, we can talk about how our classroom is a community and how you're expected to follow rules when you're in your classroom and at school. At school, we learn about things like being honest and trustworthy and doing the right thing, other than just the stuff that we learn about in subjects like math and science and English. So to become a good citizen, it starts in the classroom, you follow rules, you cooperate and work together with people, and you behave in an honest and trustworthy way. For some characteristics of a good leader, we're about to get into that section right now. So we started to think about what we need to be a good leader, or what we would want in a good leader. Good leaders who want their communities to grow work very hard with everyone else. Good leaders are honest. They say what they mean and they keep their promises. They encourage others to do the same. Good leaders understand the need of diverse or different people. They can help the community make sure it meets everyone's needs. Good leaders think about what the community needs to be a good place to live. They work with citizens and other leaders to find solutions to problems. Good leaders know how to communicate their ideas. They encourage people to work together to develop ideas that are good for the community. They promote fairness and kindness among people in the community. Good leaders know they cannot do everything by themselves. They ask people in the community to help because they know a strong team is important. How can you be a good leader in your community? So one of the things that we can talk about in our graphic organizer, some of the characteristics of a good leader include being a hard worker, being honest and trustworthy, someone who works to solve problems, someone who's good at communicating and asking for help, and they're willing to work with other people to make sure that everyone's needs are being met. Gaylord Nelson. On April 22nd, 1970, the United States celebrated its first Earth Day. Gaylord Nelson, a United States Senator from Wisconsin, founded Earth Day. He wanted to focus attention on the environment. Nelson hoped more people would work to preserve and conserve the nation's natural resources. To preserve means to set aside and protect. To conserve means to limit the use and save for the future. Nelson served the US Senate for 18 years. During that time, he supported many laws to protect the environment and plant and animal life. Did you know Earth Day takes place every year on April 22nd? On Earth Day, millions of people participate in activities to celebrate the Earth. These include festivals, planting trees, and volunteering to clean up trash. How will you celebrate Earth Day this year? Ways to make a difference. How can you make a difference in your community? First, you should do research to find out about good things in your community and things that need to be better. Then you can think about ways to help make things better. There are many ways you can make a difference. You can write a letter to the editor of your local newspaper to let more people know about the problem. You can also write a letter to a community or state leader. Your letter should clearly explain the problem. It should also give ideas for possible solutions. Include any research you've done and send it with your letter. If you like to talk, you can ask to speak at a town meeting. A town meeting is a time when members of a community come together to talk about issues that face the community. A town meeting is a good place to talk directly to the leaders of the community. It's also a good place to ask questions. Another way to make a difference is by organizing people. You can organize a rally to tell your community about a problem. A rally is a public gathering. You can talk with business owners about ways to improve the community. You can organize a group to pick up trash one day a week in public areas of your neighborhood. You can also find out about groups in your community that are already making a difference. Some groups build houses for people, run food pantries, and collect used clothes to give to people in need. Other groups collect toys for children in the hospital. Look for a group that is working to fix a problem you see. Ask them how you can help. Young people can help organizations build homes for people in a community. So let's go back to our graphic organizer and finish that up. For the problems in your community, you can list problems maybe that you already know about in the community. Maybe there's pollution or such as air and water pollution. Maybe there's a lot of poor people in the area. If there are problems with neighborhood safety, all of these are things that you can list in the community section, problems in the community. Ways that you can make it better, we just talked about, and when we went over in our reading, you can write a letter or make a phone call or write an email to some leaders of the community. You can organize trash pickup in your community to help clean it up. You can organize a rally or speak at a town meeting. All of these are options to help make a difference in your community. And then for our conclusion, how to build a strong community. So to build a strong community, you need to be a good citizen at school. You know how good leaders should act, and you encourage leaders to be good. You also find out and point out any problems that you might see in your community and make suggestions on ways you think that we can solve those problems. And then you can also volunteer and help out in your community to help make it a better place for everyone to live. For our next 2 pages, it says write a paragraph describing a problem that exists in your community. How would you solve the problem? So pick something, give a lot of detail, and explain in detail what you think would be a good way to fix it. Remember to use complete sentences. Check your spelling and grammar as you work through this. And for the connect to the essential question, where it says pull it together, remember that citizens have rights and responsibilities. Think about how these ideas relate to volunteering and community service. Why is community service an important part of being a citizen? So think about why helping out in your community. So volunteering, your time and effort. Why is that important? And why is that a part of being a good citizen? Think about that and write down your answers. That takes us to the end of this lesson, third grade. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.